And we're back, season 3, episode 11, Leaders Only Digital Show and Podcast brought to you here by What a Change, Mentor Inc. and Tone Drone TV. I'm your host, Kendall.
And I'm Samaj.
And today we have a great show planned for you today. Please invite your friends to check out the Leaders Only Podcast and show. Have a watch party, subscribe, like, click the bell, share. If you're not watching live, you can always hit pound replay in the comments to catch us. And you can always go back to season 1, 2, 3. The shows that you didn't catch the shows and catch up on our seasons and get you some good knowledge. Always comment and let you know that we're here and let us know that you're here. We're going to dive right into it today, man. Last week, if y'all don't remember, my brother mentioned, Samaj mentioned about a young man with no legs joining a basketball team. And so I'll give y'all some intake on that. The young man's name is Joshua Johnson. He was born with no legs. Still, the Moore Middle School student is forced to be a reckon with on the basketball court. Johnson said he loves basketball since he was in kindergarten. That's why no matter what stood in his way, he said being on the team was something he wanted to do. It's just something that I had to do. I don't want you doubting me because I have no legs, Johnson said. I want to show you that I'm just a human as you and I'm just as good as you are. It's not better than you. His love for the game earned him a spot on the Moore's middle school basketball team. DeQuan Boyd, the basketball coach, said Johnson was great addition to his team. He said he noticed Johnson's abilities from day one. He started hitting shots and everything, and then he's running. He's playing defense. He's stealing the ball from people. He's making good passes, good reads, and everything. So I was like, he could fit in on our team then. Boyd said he eventually earned his spot in the starting lineup and is an inspirational leader to his teammates. His improved my confidence as a player and as a person off and on the court. No matter what, just because he don't care what no one else says. One of his teammates, correct me if I'm wrong, but Malachi Loveless said his teammates noted his perseverance and has been particularly motivational. So with this story, it just shows to show you this is how I live my life with. I have a handicap in my life, which, I did time. So I always carried on my shoulders that. But I always put myself to the test and challenge myself to do anything that I can say I can do. So anything set in my way, which I said I can, it was kind of hard for me going back to school. So me getting my certifications for a master trainer was one of the toughest things I did since I've been home. But I set myself out to do it. Me becoming an operation manager, never did it before, never been in this field or anything. All I knew how to cook. That's all I knew how to do. So challenging myself to do that and continue to stick with it. I'm in my 4th year in that. And then just taking the risk of opening up my own company when I first came home. The first 6 months, I started a cleaning company, and I'm still doing good on that. So I just one of them people that really appreciate this story because this young man don't care about nothing nobody says about him. He don't care about what happened to him. He was born this way. He was made this way, and he's just set his life out to do what he's able to do, and that makes him a hero. That makes him a marvel.
Um, yeah, it's very inspiring and motivating. Um, like I spoke on last week, it should be a constant reminder of why you're not going as hard as you can. Or for me, it's just confirmation. Stories like these are confirmation, but they also constant reminders for me and for other people to live out your purpose and do everything you are supposed to do, because it's a person with no legs. Like, he can't go to the NBA, and if he do, it's gonna be like kind of like affirmative action. Him
Mhm.
being on the team right now is affirmative action in a sense, but it's a morale piece, um, and it's fulfillment. You know what I mean? It's heart feeling, and it's motivation and inspiring to his teammates, and which should be a constant reminder. But we do have to get over the victim or the not being able to do something. I mean, everything in this world, if you guys don't know, I mean, if you're made in the image of the Most High, bro, like y'all, we could do anything. And most stuff that everybody is doing, somebody is teaching you how to do it first. It's not like you wake up and then you just want to do it off of your instinct or you just jump into our purpose. When it comes to work, most times you get trained. This right here, this is literally a passion piece. This is literally him fulfilling his purpose. Part of his purpose could literally be to wake up that community, to wake up people like us, like who taking life for granted. Um, but we definitely have to stop, you know, counting ourselves out before we even try. A lot of this stuff is nowhere near the effort that he's putting. We as human beings are nowhere near in the situation that he is in. So just like, you know, getting certified or becoming a life insurance agent or going back to school, man, that stuff, it's easy. This stuff is easy. It's literally discipline. It's literally obedience. This is somebody who just literally chasing their dream, going to get their dream fulfilled. But that's where it stops. You know what I mean? His thing is going to have to be probably, you know, being a water boy or a towel boy or a manager or things that deal with his mind, but not more so with his physical ability or Special Olympics or something like that. So for everybody who, especially high school and college athletes right now who are all conference and who don't give their talent and their gift the work ethic that they're supposed to. This is literally, in my mind, me being a former athlete, that's who it should really touch. Because there's tons of athletes that I see that have God-given ability, but they don't work as hard as this young man whatsoever. So it's definitely a constant reminder, but big ups again to the head coach, DeQuan Boyd. Big up to the parents, but above all, big up to the young man, Joshua. Who's, you know, fortitude, his testicular fortitude was there and his gumption was there to even give it a try. And I just pray that it wakes the neighborhood up, and then it wakes the community up, and then it wakes up the state, and then it trickles down just for us to, you know, wake up and give it your all, opposed to just grabbing your phone and going into toxicity.
Yes, sir. And big shouts out to Moore Middle School basketball team and his teammates.
For sure. Moving forward, the Tulsa race massacre was back in the news from May 31st through June 1st. It was back in the news about a week ago. They just made their verdict. But from May 31st through June 1st of 1921, a large white mob completely decimated Tulsa's thriving all-black community of Greenwood, and that's in which they named the bank after. The mob, which included members of the Tulsa Police, the Tulsa Chamber of Commerce, the Tulsa County Sheriff's Department, and the Oklahoma National Guard, as well as other city and county leaders. This overwhelmed the approximately 40 square block community, killing hundreds of so-called black residents, injuring thousands more, burning down over 1,000 homes and businesses, and stealing residents' personal property. The damage caused during the massacre is estimated to approximately $200 million in money for physical damages. But we haven't even spoke on the mental damages. Tulsa's reparations, Tulsa Massacre reparations. The 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre was a public nuisance under Oklahoma law and finding the plaintiffs 106-year-old Leslie Benningfield, whose mother, Randall, 107-year-old Viola Mother Fletcher, and 101-year-old Hughes Van Ellis are entitled to proceed to discovery and prove that the Tulsa Race Massacre was a public nuisance, that continues to impact black Tulsans today. They were seeking damages to recover and unjust enrichment others had achieved from the exploitation of the massacre in a previously thriving area known as the Black Wall Street, and this cited ongoing harm to black residents in Oklahoma due to the massacre. Fletcher said in 2021, ahead of the 100th year anniversary of the massacre, that she could still smell the smoke of burning buildings and see black bodies lying in the street, and noted she had never seen justice and prayed that one day that she would. Judge Caroline Wall dismissed the lawsuit recently with prejudice, preventing Leslie Benningfield Randall, 108 years old, Viola Fletcher, 109 years old, and Hughes Van Ellis, 102 years old, from refiling in Oklahoma District Court their lawsuit against the city of Tulsa and others. But the survivors can still appeal the decision to a higher court, in which I believe they are going to appeal it. First and foremost, what do you expect? I guess that's going to be kind of like my constant. I keep telling y'all though, man, if you go look at the definition of black, you gotta go before modern times, man. It don't mean nothing positive. So it means death. It means without light. It means everything that you are not. Like, you have light. You are the light. You're made in the image. You have antenna on your head. It's not dreads. They're not locks. They literally coil your hair coils. You're the only one on this continent that can go outside right now. No sunscreen. No nothing, and just stand out there. As long as you're hydrated, you will be totally fine. And it's time for us to use our practical knowledge now to start preventing these things from happening. So first and foremost, it's a major salute always to Black Wall Street, because it was a moment in time in which a lot of us living today never experienced, never seen, never heard of. But I also want to always remind you guys that we come from royalty. To this day, your bloodline is still, most of us, if not all of us, our bloodlines are attached to royalty. That's why they work so hard to keep us confused, to keep us saying that we're black, to try to get us off this land and go back to Africa. It's just so much that they're trying to do, from you discovering who you are, and then you make your decisions. Now, at the same time, you have to start looking at yourself as being challenged by adversity and oppression. Are you going to continue to give up? We don't give up for the woman we want. We don't give up for the job that we want. We don't give up on the sneakers that we want. We'll save money to get that car that we want, but we will not fight for freedom. We will not pick up the books and read them. We won't watch the videos. We won't get together in huddles. We won't even make freedom, our freedom, our number one. I mean, outside of, waking up and being healthy, our freedom should be the number one thing that we can come together and unite on, because chains or no chains, you don't have any power. You don't have the power to empower you as an individual. But then on the flip side, that's always a catch-22, because you possess all the power. But you do have to go inside and figure out who you are, and do those type of things and do the homework. But at the same time, I feel bad on one end that they didn't get any finance for what happened, because it's terrible to work that hard, to be organized, to build it up, and somebody just come tear it down and with no repercussions. But then at the same time, now where I'm at in life, it's like, that's why unity means more to me than a fiat dollar. That's why unity means more to me than begging for reparations. That's why unity means more to me than going to court and trying to get something without proper, knowledge, and, people are kind of laughing at you when you come in there and they know you're not going to win that case. Or for a judge to have that power, you understand, like, people were decimated. Like, a bomb dropped in the middle. That's like us being sitting here right now. Did you see how small that radius was, and a bomb being dropped, and nobody can do nothing about it. But at the same time, it's like where do we really want, or where do we really want to go, and what do we really want out of life as a people? Over the last seasons, it's like everybody's trying to get somewhere they never been, but they seen somebody else do it. But it's like, yo, why aren't we not fighting and trying to get to the places that nobody ever been, that nobody ever seen? Nobody ever seen everybody working together. Nobody's ever seen the community work together. Like I said, I've been here 39 years. So even if you go back to, 1950, 1940, you didn't see the whole area working together. It wasn't thriving to that part. When we had it thriving, it started going down. So it's like, really, if you're up, moving, able, you literally have to be 100, 102, 109, 108 like these people to actually say that you've seen that, to be living today. So it's like, why are we not fighting for things that really matter, like learning how to take care of one another, like getting acres of land and building our own stuff. Same thing we speaking about Ice Cube last episode. As long as we keep identifying just as black, these are the outcomes. So um, much respect to all the people who have something to do with Tulsa, man. The bloodline that still carries. I would be interested to see where these people, family members, are now, and over that time, did they pass any knowledge to them to get things started again in a new way? That's more so what I'm interested in now. But I hope they win the appeal.
Yeah.
But I hope they do get a status change and go through the things they're supposed to, because begging your it's literally like begging your slave master to give you something when they have the rights to your life.
Right. Like always, man. You can't stress enough, man, the importance of taking care of yourself so you could be in a position to help others and lead by example. So, as always, we ask that you please be sure to take time for your self-care, eat right, exercise, meditate, do some yoga, get out and socialize, relax, have a healthy and productive life. It begins with you. So, always, we have our own emergency mental health line at 988. Make sure you use it.
Yes, and this past Wednesday, so we did we went and visited the PG Community House Shelter, and we had made some good connections then. And one of the things that they offered, I offered and they allowed, was for me to come in there and cook. So this past Wednesday, I was able to go in and cook lunch for the men and the staff that were there. It's kind of cool because it's not like the world's biggest shelter, so it's about anywhere from 10 to 20 people on a normal basis. But it was cool for them to be receptive, number one, to the plant-based food. Number two, for a person like me, I guess people always say, what they love language is and stuff like that. And I always would laugh, you know what I mean, when people try to tell me they love language, because it's like, you're speaking about your love language from a dysfunctional place. So how do you really know what your love language is? If you haven't healed, you don't know what your love language is. That's just how I feel. But now, me being healed, one of the main things that was always, I never said it was my love language, but one of the things that I always liked about life was being appreciated, because I know how much I can bear. I know how much I help. I try to offer. I give. So to go places like this is a place that I knew. It's like you could set yourself up for failure. Well, this is one of the things, setting myself up for success. Because all you got to do is walk through the door with something for people who need it. Like, this is not a want. This is not, oh, you ain't bring me Chick-fil-A, and then this person over here wanted Taco Bell, and then this person over here. It was literally like, man, I appreciate it. Thank you. Not to mention it was good. Not to mention it was healthy. Had a few jokes of people, even thinking, you gonna make me cross over. That's what I live for, because that's the type of pay, like I always say, that you can't put a price on. And that's the type of pay that I'm more so worried about, my spiritual currency. I continue to speak on that because we have to level out. I mean, this is another, like, not to keep going back to Kyrie, Kanye, Ice Cube, but these people have everything that's so-called have everything that people want, and all they want is their freedom. If you notice it, they got multi-millions. They begging for their freedom. So it's like, yo, you can either try to get all the way up that ladder yourself and then get smacked right back down into reality, or you could take heed to what's happening and start preparing yourself. And like I said, man, if we don't start working together, if we're not leveraging ourselves, if it doesn't make you feel good to go, not one thing, just to go to a shelter, but those are people that's on your team. Most of the people in that shelter, if not all of them, look just like me. And not to mention, even worse, they have kids. So their kids, it ain't going you.
No.
But if we don't look out for their kids, then the kids just turn into that same adult. So their kids run the risk of being in a shelter, being a womanizer, being the lack of discipline, you know, and it goes on. So it was just a constant reminder of something beautiful, and the fact that we can just keep speaking on it and speak on it. I just pray that somebody in their heart goes right down in their community, like we use these smartphones and Google everything else. Just Google some people who need something and just do it like that. I don't like taking pictures. We were there when they were in their business element to do interviews and stuff like that, but it's not charity. Like, this is literally what you're supposed to do. But this is how you get your blessings. You be a blessing.
Yeah.
So don't ever forget that. And all them scriptures and all that, man. Don't pump it up and don't read the book and don't walk in the church. If you ain't going to walk out that church and still be the church, yo. If you're not going to still live all the stuff that you read, and that's our main problem. We read and we harbor knowledge, or we read and we forget to apply that knowledge, or we forget, period, that we even have it in the moment of emotions. Our emotions take over. And it's like, yo, all the things that was in that book, all the things that we read go out the window. So just a constant reminder from that story to the Tulsa massacre to going over there to cook that we need each other. Above all, like the constant common denominator is we can't do this thing by ourselves. We don't have enough protection. So
Yep. So to piggyback off that, we had the Grind Hard, Dream Big presenting a third annual backpack giveaway Saturday, August 19th, 11 to 1 p.m., 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. A child must be present to get the book bag. It's going to be at the Glenardy Library, 8724 Glenarden Parkway, Glenarden, Maryland, 20708. So, big shots out to J Flow on that. And as always, just like bro was just saying, this is how you get your blessings. There's always somebody else in need. So you know these kids, high schoolers, middle schoolers, you know they need book bags. So we're giving a helping hand.
And
we're going to contribute right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Contributing. Absolutely.
And he was saying that they had some on Amazon. He was saying that 5 and below they had the character book bags.
Yeah.
Look on
And then we got
Alibaba if y'all looking for bulk. Or
And then we
Ali,
also
they got the
got
app. The
bulk.
Ali app, ALI. It's orange, but you can buy in bulk, like at the wholesale price.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have an LLC or anything like that. They'll let you buy it. And also, man, I know we always talk about being a blessing and giving back and doing this, doing that. Please save yourself first. Please, like, I live in the real world and I talk about it, and truth don't hurt my feelings. But we keep masking everything. It's disgusting, man. Like, seriously, man. I hate to be a Debbie Downer because I try to stay up, but it's like some of the things that we're doing is just disgusting to one another, and it just makes you wonder, like, what really is going on? Like, how did we get to this point? It's like young people disrespecting older people. Older people don't have no time for younger people. Men and women, we just beefing. All we doing is just getting on and even if people have podcasts and all that stuff, it's like it's getting really saturated with just looking every day at, well, are men right or women right? The women wrong, the men wrong. Women do this, the men. Yo, we all wrong because we learned all this from our parents. We learned it from their parents. We learned it from their parents who got plagued by this plague and that drug and this pandemic and this epidemic. Everybody got to take a step back in the mirror but really be about your discipline and your grind, because you don't know when you're going to go. And everybody try to do it on their time, and I'm going to do a little bit this day, 1 step forward, 3 steps backward. Please stick to it, man, because it's a cry out. We need it. We need it. And the people you keep asking for are literally against us. They put it in the air. They put it in the water. They put it in the food. They're making fake food. They put it, like, man, big companies, corporations have bought the plant-based products. They're even buying the vegan food now. It's like, what are you going to do besides grow your own food and figure this thing out? But if one thing and another, man, please start paying attention to what's going on and then doing something about it, because when it all hit the fan, all we're going to have is us. And if we're divided, then we left out. We don't have anybody. All you have is yourself, and that's exactly where they wanted us. We're not a people like that. We never been a people of selfishness. We never been a people of individualism. This is all new. This is all learned behavior from your person that captured you, and they passed that crap on. It was all about being in tune with these trees, with this grass, with that sun, helping one another. It wasn't no currency system. Everybody wasn't trying to just get a dollar, get the dollar, get the dollar. It wasn't no such thing. You had to have skills. You had to have something to barter. You had to have an asset. So focus on getting the land. Focus on having serious conversations. Somebody please step up and save your families. I remember it being an uncle or a granddad. It used to be grandma. We used to have matriarchs and patriarchs. We used to have people who when they spoke, it meant something. Now when somebody speaks, and as long as it don't offend you, it's cool. But if it offends you, then that person don't know what they're talking about, or the hell with them. So then now you drew bigger division. And then when it all hit the fan, and then you call the person when you need them. That's not fair, man. We are, if anything, man, look in the mirror, we wrong. As families, we're wrong, man. It's so divided, and I know that it's true because I purposely ask certain questions when I go into a multitude of different areas just to see, like, yo, what's up with your fam? Or you sit back and you listen. We all over the place, man. So please, everybody, as an individual, if you want individualism and you want to be selfish at making yourself better, getting better, because that's a contribution that we can all make at the same time that affects us without us having to sit down and have a meeting and figure it out if there was a takeover or we put our power together or whatever. Start with just getting ourselves together, man, because we ain't no good talking about what other people are doing to us or this person bombed us. Yeah, a bomb and punching the lady in the face inside the restaurant is different. But at the same time, it's a different casualty of war. You're still warring against us. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do better, man. Do it for the guy with no legs. He just trying to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to do that and get better, bro. So with that, we're going to close out. You got anything else for this week?
No, I could be reached. I got my website up, so if you want your training or anything in that category, I'm certified, and all my certifications is on the website, and anything about that, my contact, my email. It's at Kindle, the Kindle Rip Touch .issa. Hold on. CertifiedTrainer.com. So that's one more time. That's Kindle, the Rip Touch .issa, CertifiedTrainer.com.
Yeah, you could find me at mentalhealthchef.com. Everything is just spelled the way that it is. Also, we're brought to you by What a Change Mentoring and Tone Drone TV. We do shoot most times every Sunday, 2:30 p.m. If you would like to come down, get the full address on St. Barnabas Road here in Temple Hills, Maryland. Please shoot us an email at leadersonly22@gmail.com. Do remember that they still do have programs going on in the area that you can volunteer. Volunteer is very good for your spirit. It actually helps with depression. That interaction with giving off that positive effect in somebody's life helps you. So look into that.
It's also good networking.
Yeah, definitely. And also remember to like, comment, subscribe,
click
hit
that
the
bell.
And email us, man. Please send us events, send us organizations,
Ideas,
send us topics if you would like to come on, or if you think there's somebody who we would have a great conversation with and building. Please send it over. Lastly, don't forget that this is one of the mental health months. They call it Minority Mental Health Month. But we just going to say every day is Mental Health Day. Every month. We need help in our mental area. And like I said, I don't talk about us if I'm not willing to do that. I fall right in with the we and the us and all that, because if we're not all good, then we're not all good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So do what you can. But big shout out to Aunt Pinky, the PG Community House, for having us over.
Yes, sir.
They have another event at the PG Community House August 5th. That's what I need to say.
Yeah.
August 5th, they're doing another. They're washing cars again. They're selling their merch. I'm pretty sure they'll have the free phone, and there may be some other vendors there this time. But we'll be stopping by. And then
The
the
mayor
mayor's
will
having
be out
an
there.
event on August 5th that we'll have all the information. We'll drop that next week.
So big shouts out to Grind
Start getting
Hard,
you some more information.
Dream Big, J Flow with that too.
Yep. Until next week.
Peace.